Thank you, Kering Chebet. Now, moving on, Azimio la Umoja One Kenya Coalition Party, Raila Odinga has reiterated that the coalition will not recognize President William Ruto as the country's duly elected leader. In a statement issued after a 2-day Azimio parliamentary group meeting in Machakos, Odinga sent out a warning message to members of the coalition, stating that any form of betrayal will not be tolerated. The Azimio chief reiterated status does appropriate funds, hence Azimio MPs should not claim to be chasing development funds in their association with the executive. We have our very own Faith Musimbi with our story.
Azimio la Umoja One Kenya Coalition has listed 13 resolutions after a parliamentary group meeting held at Manzoni Lodge in Machakos County.
Wakenya wako na njaa kwa sababu hali ya maisha iko juu, unga iko juu, stima iko juu, nauli iko juu.
The 2-day retreat, which ended on Friday, February 10th, came as the coalition continued with its political rallies in the country.
Asanteni sana. Leo hii tumerudi hapa Mavoko na tunataka kuelezea wananchi wa Mavoko. Gharama ya maisha saizi iko juu kabisa, si ni kweli? Tuliambiwa unga itarudishwa chini, imerudishwa haijarudishwa. Tuliambiwa elimu itakuwa bure, imekuwa bure haijakuwa bure.
After the meeting, the coalition resolved that the parliamentary group restates the position that Azimio does not recognize Dr. William Ruto as the legitimate president of the Republic of Kenya.
1. The PG restates the position that the Azimio la Umoja One Kenya Coalition Party does not recognize Dr. William Ruto as the legitimate president of the Republic of Kenya.
That the Kenya Kwanza administration has put Kenyans in an existential struggle for survival, with the cost of basic necessities becoming untenable.
3. That the Kenya Kwanza administration has put Kenyans in an existential struggle for survival, with the cost of basic necessities becoming untenable. This trend must be resisted and reversed, and Azimio has resolved to provide the leadership needed to achieve this.
That Kenya Kwanza is made to immediately embark on steps to reverse the huge tax burden it continues to impose on the people of Kenya, that has seen taxes make up more than half of the price of goods and more than half of the...
That Kenya Kwanza be made to immediately embark on steps to reverse the huge tax burden it continues to impose on the people of Kenya, that has seen taxes make up more than half of the price of goods and more than half of the people's income.
Azimio also resolved that the Kenya Kwanza administration must be forced to take steps to bring down the cost of goods and services, and in addition, also increase the minimum wage to keep it above inflation. In addition, that with Azimio providing leadership, Kenya Kwanza be forced to restore and expand the social protection programs, which guarantee a basic monthly income to the poor.
5. Azimio has resolved that the Kenya Kwanza administration must be forced to take steps to bring down the cost of goods and services, and in addition increase the minimum wage to keep it above inflation. On these, Kenyans need timelines from the Kenya Kwanza and not false promises and rhetoric. The cost of living was supposed to come down immediately the administration took power. But today, the administration does not even mention it. Unga was supposed to be trading at Kenya shillings 70 by now.
Apart from that with Azimio providing leadership, Kenyans mobilized and opposed plans to sell off state-run parastatals.
That with Azimio providing leadership, Kenyans mobilized and opposed plans to sell off state-run parastatals. These entities, some of which are critical to our national security, must be allowed to continue serving the public or to continue serving public good rather than lining the pockets of a few individuals. Further, these parastatals are public property and cannot be sold without parliamentary approval. The current attempt to amend the law so that these parastatals are sold at the whim of the administration will be resisted by the people of Kenya. 8.
On education, Azimio resolved that Kenya Kwanza administration be compelled to resume free education and to return the subsidies and bursaries that have always been available for all Kenyan children.
On education, we have resolved that the Kenya Kwanza administration be compelled to resume free education and to return the subsidies and bursaries that have always been available for all Kenyan children.
That the Kenya Kwanza regime is compelled to immediately address the confusion, the chaos and the mounting expenses and demands surrounding the implementation of the junior high school program.
That the Kenya Kwanza regime be compelled to immediately address the confusion, the chaos and the mounting expenses and demands surrounding the implementation of the junior high school program.
That Azimio has taken note of the suffering of university and college students, and they demand that the Kenya Kwanza administration immediately release all pending help funds to help ease the suffering of students.
That we have taken note of the suffering of university and college students, and we demand that the Kenya Kwanza administration immediately release all pending help funds to help ease the suffering of students. Azimio notes that inflation has wiped out the purchasing power of the current allowances given to university students and demands that the administration must also increase the amount available under help in light of the inflation. In addition, and to end the destitution prevailing in our campuses, Kenya Kwanza administration must be forced to restore the old catering services in all public universities to enable all students access decent meals. Open the kitchens to enable students live in dignity.
That the Kenya Kwanza administration immediately releases monies to the counties to enable devolved units to offer services that are critical to the people at this very difficult time.
That the Kenya Kwanza administration immediately releases monies to the counties to enable devolved units offer services that are critical to our people at this very difficult time.
That the Kenya Kwanza regime must immediately stop all lies and release the NGCDF and GAF monies to all constituencies to help ease the burden of people for whom these funds are a lifeline.
That the Kenya Kwanza regime must immediately stop all lies and release the NGCDF and GAF monies to all constituencies to help ease the burden of the people for whom these funds are a lifeline. Severally, the regime has promised to release the monies